just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yep. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chain. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait.
I mean, to see our student body rush down and fill the bottom part of the section, the remainder of our crowd to be amped up for the final minute of play, like that's the takeaway. And I know for some guys, for some people, the story is what happened. And you know, our administration has obviously made it clear that that's not the stance and what we want from the volunteer spirit. You know that I feel the same way. I didn't sign any mustard bottles or golf balls. Maybe wish I had had a golf ball that night. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
Okay.
We should close with that. That is the mind blower of mind blowers.
Good.
There on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are 2 days away from kickoff. Another morning stream. You guys, man, you guys showed up, showed out, showed love yesterday. You guys blew this channel up. I don't know that I can ever remember picking up that many subscribers during a live stream, and that's because you guys shared this thing out. You blew it up, so I said, let's just do another one. Let's do another morning show. Let's call into work. Let's not go work for the man. Let's go work for the people. Let's go work for ourselves. That's what we're going to do. The depth chart is out. Doesn't always mean a lot, but it is always fun to look at, kind of see where some people are at. So we'll take a look at the depth chart. Josh Heupel also met with the media yesterday talking about the Ball State game, so we'll jump into that as well. And you guys know the deal. You guys drive the show. We'll take this thing wherever you guys want to go. Let's run it down, see who is in the chat. Crazy Nugs is here, as always. Says 2 days in a row, morning streams. John Hill in the house. What's up, John? Says you better stop doing this before it becomes a habit, and we revolt when you don't do one tomorrow. Go Big Orange. Yeah, not going to do one tomorrow because me and Dauber will be live tomorrow evening. Probably drop a video in the morning. We'll see what kind of news is floating around. Fish and Beans in the house. What's up, Fish and Beans? DS4570 is here. Marcus Rush in the house. What up? Marcus has been losing sleep because it's almost football time in Tennessee. Yeah, always, man, you start to get, it feels like Christmas Eve. That Wednesday night show is really going to feel like Christmas Eve. Going to be a good time. Timothy Willis in the house. What's up, Timothy? Matt Dummett is here. Robert Clark is here. Ann Morgan is in the house. Look, I'm going to challenge you guys again because why not? You guys showed the strength in numbers yesterday, picking up almost 50 subscribers. So we're going to be giving away a free t-shirt tomorrow live on air. But I figured, why not go ahead and challenge you guys again? First of all, smash the thumbs up just below the video. Quick, free, easy. You don't got to do nothing. Just hit that little thumbs up. It helps the channel. Now, we are also 62 subscribers. 62 subscribers away from 14,100. If we get to 14.1 thousand by the end of this stream, I'll make that 2 t-shirts that we give away tomorrow night live on air. So do your part. Do your part to strengthen numbers. Hit that share button. Blast this thing out. Send it to Twitter. Send it to Facebook. Let everybody know that we're live on this Tuesday morning. Just 2 days away from kickoff. Like I said, if we get to 14.1, we'll give away 2 free t-shirts tomorrow night on the stream. John Hill dropping a $10.39 super chat. John always getting creative with those numbers. Says, can it get here already? Let's go, Big Orange. Man, it's time. It is go time. I'm excited, man. Somebody, you guys keep comparing me to Swain. You say I'm filling Swain's shoes on this morning show. I just need a wingman. I need a Ben McKee. I need somebody else that can call in sick to work or take vacation days like crazy. Robert Clark dropping $5. Thank you, Robert, for the super chat. Says, I believe the D-line will be the strength of this defense. Also think the D as a whole is going to surprise a lot of people this year. You know, we talked about that some yesterday. Comments from Greg McElroy, what Tennessee has to do to get better, to get off the field on third down. I like this defense to take a step also. I think they're going to improve as well, Robert. And we're going to get into the depth chart here in just a moment. But when you talk about the defensive line, you just got to go back to last year. Go back to last spring. Nobody was talking about this defensive line. In fact, if they did talk about them, it's that they weren't good enough. Rodney Garner was not satisfied. They were getting whipped up front during spring camp. But Rodney Garner is the best in the business, and he's going to get more. He's going to get more out of that defensive line than any other coach in the country. And we saw what he did with Matthew Butler. Who's going to step up and be that next Matthew Butler? A lot of people excited about Omari Thomas. Could he be that guy? Could he step up and be the leader of that interior defensive line? We'll see. We'll see. But I'm excited also, Robert, about this season for the defense. I think they take a step. Drew Truesdale in the house, $10 super chat. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate that. Hate being up this early on my days off, but if I'm going to, I better listen to some Talkin VAWLS. Easy for me to say. Thank you, Drew, for the super chat. Thank you for being here, buddy. Going to be a good show. I hope we'll have some fun today. Crazy Nugs with a $10.45. See, you guys are already playing the game. You guys, I see what you're doing. Let me go ahead and get the leaderboard scrolling across the bottom because Crazy Nugs has to up John by just a few pennies, but I appreciate it. I like a good competition. Crazy Nugs for $10.45 says, here we go, Big Orange, 2 more wake-ups. We could just stay up. We could stay live. Crazy Nugs, we could stay live from now until Thursday night at 7. You want to do it? You want to just stay live? I think we could do it. We'll see what happens. Joey Carroll in the house. What's up, Joey? Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Who else we got? Will B is here. Derek Rogers in the house. Zach Hamilton says, good morning, Vol fans. Let's see. Let me catch back up. Let me catch back up with the chat. See what you guys are saying here live. See what's going on down here in the chat. Dakota dropping some links in the chat. Appreciate that. Dakota's a moderator. If he drops a link, it could be to the T-shirts. Could be how you could support Aspire Sports Group through NIL. So make sure you guys check that out. Cody Branch having issues with the ads. Just let him play, Cody. Just let him play. It's all good. It's all good. No problems. All right, let's jump into this depth chart. We've got 185 people watching live. Keep sharing this thing out. Like I said, get it on Twitter. Get it on Facebook, Instagram. Call up your Uncle Tommy. Tell him we're live. It doesn't matter. Let's see here. What do we got? 59 subscribers. 59 subscribers away from giving away T-shirts. We'll keep an eye on that as we go. But let's take a look at this depth chart. We'll get it shared up on the screen. What you guys think? And again, when they release these depth charts, they don't always mean a whole lot. You know, there's a whole lot of brackets. There's a whole lot of ors listed here. Thank you, Ryan Charland, for becoming a member of the channel, joining Emoji Access. Appreciate that. It's one by one, you guys strengthen numbers. Appreciate you joining the channel, financially throwing a few pennies our way. We appreciate it. As little as $1 a month, you can contribute. You get access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Drop them in the chat. Show them what he's won. What's up, Leah? Good to see you in the chat. Blake saying 56-10. 56-10 on Thursday. Oreo Puppy Dog is here. What's up, Oreo Puppy Dog? Wonder if the freshman will get any playing time this week. That's what I'd like to see. And when you look at the depth chart here, obviously there's no doubt about it at the quarterback position. You know Hendon Hooker is going to be QB1. Joe Milton is locked down QB2. Whether you want to argue, whether you want to tell me how great Taven Jackson is and how Taven Jackson's going to push, he's going to be the backup. That's not the case. It's not the case. Joe Milton is QB2. I want to see Taven Jackson, though. I would like to, somebody said in the chat yesterday, said that they wanted to see, or maybe it was Donovan over in the Facebook group, said he wanted Hendon Hooker out by the end of the first quarter. Get him out by the end of the first quarter. Get Joe Milton in there. Let Joe Milton play the second quarter. Get up big, and then throw the freshman out there. Throw Taven Jackson out there and see what he's got. But when we look at the depth chart, first you got your tight ends, Princeton Fant, Jacob Warren. No surprise there. Those guys are 1A, 1B. It is what it is. You kind of knew that going in. Your offensive line pretty much locked down outside of the left tackle position, returning 4 out of 5 starters. Carvin at left guard, Cooper Mays at center, Spraggins at right guard, Darnell Wright at right tackle. So no real surprise there. You've got your left tackle, the brackets, Gerald Mincy or Jeremiah Crawford. And we're going to get into the press conference here in just a moment and see what Josh Heupel had to say about that tackle competition. Both guys going to play on Saturday. And I thought there was a good question. I did listen to some of it before the live stream. I thought there was a good question asked by Ben McKee in the presser saying, do you put more weight on what those guys do? Do you put more weight on what Gerald Mincy and Jeremiah Crawford look like on game day versus what they've looked like all fall camp? Of course, Heupel gave the coach answer. It's kind of a balance between both, but it does matter. He put that emphasis. It does matter when the lights come on, who balls out when those lights come on. Leah Lancaster for 5. Thank you for the super chat. She doesn't say anything. She just says, here's $5, Boogie. Thank you for the live stream. I appreciate that, Leah. Always in the chat, always dropping comments when I put videos out. Appreciate the support. A. Scott Bennett becomes a member of the channel. Talkin VAWLS Gold, you're going to have access to fan call-in shows. You've also got that those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Drop them in the chat. Appreciate that, Scott Bennett. Thank you for joining the channel. Derek Rogers for 11. I wish StreamYard's got to get this fixed, because when I'm looking at the YouTube chat to my left here, I can see those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. He's got the GBO, and he's got 3 golf balls, and I love it. But StreamYard, for whatever reason, it puts the little brackets up there. But thank you for the $11, Derek. Appreciate that super chat. I know what you're doing, my man. I see what you're doing. You said, I see Crazy Nugs $10.45, and I raise him to $11 because I want to see my name on the leaderboard down at the bottom. But I thank you for the super chat, Derek. I appreciate that support, buddy. See what else we got on this depth chart. Anything that surprised you guys? I saw somebody mention in the chat Brandon Turnage. You go down here to the defensive backs on the right side, bottom right of the form here. Where is Brandon Turnage? And, we talked about these defensive backs yesterday. We talked about the trust that I felt like this coaching staff had in Warren Burrell. He's a senior. The trust they have is, are they throwing him out there for that reason and that reason alone? You got 2 younger guys, which Kamal had, redshirt junior, Christian Charles, a sophomore. Christian Charles is a freshman, had a ton of buzz. A lot of people saying, could he get on the field at safety last year as a freshman? I think Warren Burrell's out there just because he gives you that comfort level, because he is an upperclassman. I want to see some of these young guys start to push. Christian Charles, Kamal Hadden. Where in the world is Brandon Turnage? I saw somebody ask that in the chat. Turnage is a guy that, again, I'll say it for the 8,000th time on this channel. Last year, Theo Jackson goes down with an injury. Brandon Turnage steps in at the star position. SEC Defensive Player of the Week, led the team in tackles, and I know some of that is because the star position is kind of the feature position. The feature position of this Tennessee defense, of this Tim Banks defense. Dylan Elam, I've seen this. Dylan Elam says Turnage was hurt, and I think his rehab put him back on the position battle. I've heard that he's banged up. But you would still think he would be listed here in the 2 deep. That's what's interesting. Not that he's not starting, and I think we're going to see a lot of guys. And I think we'll probably see Turnage on Thursday night. Maybe not. Nelson McElrath says heard Turnage is also hurt. Is he hurt, or has he been hurt? We'll see. Dylan says that he's going to be in there on dime packages. I think that's what they were saying on the VolQuest podcast, that he would be out there on dime. So it sounds to me, if that's the case, reading between the lines, that he's been hurt, but he's healthy now. But that kind of put him a little behind going into game 1. So we'll see. Again, this depth chart doesn't always mean a whole lot once you get into the season. And again, there's so many bracketed. Christian Charles, Kamal Hadden at corner, bracketed. Tamarian McDonald locked down at the star position. That excites me, man. That excites me. Sometimes you have these position battles, the Christian Charles, Kamal Hadden. You got the position battle at left tackle. You've got Jawan Mitchell and Aaron Beasley in a position battle opposite of Jeremy Banks. Sometimes what a position battle tells me, it's what's the old saying, you got 2 quarterbacks, it means you don't have one. Same kind of deal here. But Tamarion McDonald didn't give anybody an opportunity. You don't get a chance to take my job. This is my job. Tamarion McDonald locked it down. He won that job, and nobody else is taking it from him. I like that. That excites me. Could Tamarion McDonald, could he be that Theo Jackson in this defense? A guy that kind of comes out of nowhere, takes that position and runs with it. And again, he's in that featured position, that star position. Pretty excited about Tamarion McDonald heading into Thursday night. Safety position, no real surprise. McCullough, Trayvon Flowers going to start there. Let's go back over to the offensive side. Wide receivers, Brew McCoy or Walker Merrill. Does that surprise you that they're bracketed? I think Brew McCoy's the guy. Maybe just showing a little love to Walker Merrill there, having them kind of co-starters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really, especially at a position like wide receiver. You had Alex Golish a week ago saying they got 7 to 8 guys they feel confident in, 7 to 8 guys they want to kind of rotate around at the wide receiver position. You can see they're listed again. Brew McCoy, Walker Merrill on the outside, co-starters. Opposite of them, Cedric Tillman, Ramel Keaton listed as the 2, but also bracketed with Jimmy Holiday. And then in the slot, you got Jalen Hyatt. That's his job. That's his position. Then you got Jimmy Callaway or Squirrel White also bracketed. But again, right there is 8 wide receivers. We just rattled off 8 wide receivers, and I think those are probably your 8 that this coaching staff feels pretty comfortable with. But I think you're going to see more than that. I think you may see some Caleb Webb out there. You may see some Chaz Nimrod. It's Ball State. We go take care of business. We don't see some young players in that second half. We got big-time problems. Got big-time problems. I want to see some of those freshmen make some plays. I want to see Squirrel White go make a play. Flash. Show me a little something. Show me a little something. Knoxville Predator catcher in the chat. What's up, buddy? Got to work 4 a.m. on Friday. Going to be a tough one. Yeah, I took Friday off, too. I took Friday. The day they announced they were moving the game to Thursday, I took Friday off. Those late-night post-game shows, we're going to be live till probably like after midnight. After midnight. If you're new to this channel, you've never been a part of a post-game show. Make sure you're dialed in, ready to go. The second the game ends on Thursday, we're going to get set up, locked and loaded, ready to go live. We try to get live within a matter of minutes. After the game ends. I think you guys, if you're new to this channel, you're really going to enjoy it. Thank you to Derek Rogers. Upgrades his membership to Talkin VAWLS Faithful. Appreciate that extra little donation. Thank you for that. What's up, Brad? Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Reminding everybody to smash that thumbs up. Yeah, we got 236 people watching live. Anybody flooding in late? I wanted to praise you guys. You guys added 50-plus subscribers to this channel yesterday while we were live. 50. That's crazy. Right now, we are 58 away from 14.1K. If we get to 14.1, I'll make it 2 shirts. 2 shirts tomorrow. 2 shirts. Peyton Manning's forehead. Will the Monday morning streams take over the day after videos? No, the day after will continue to roll on. And what the day after is, the post-game shows are so emotional. Everybody's so full of piss and vinegar. Everybody's so mad and irate. What the day after does, it gives us time to sleep on it, kind of put some thoughts together, and speak more logically. That will still be rolling out. Go look at the running back position. No real surprise. Jabari Small is running back. Jalen Wright, running back 2. Dylan Sampson. Justin Williams-Thomas scheduled to bracketed, which – I think we all know Dylan Sampson kind of led the way coming out of camp. But that's your offense. Not a whole lot of surprises there. The thing to watch is going to be Gerald Mincey, Jeremiah Crawford, who looks better. Who looks better on Thursday night? Back over to the defense. Your defensive line, BY, Tyler Barron. Your edge rushers, again, no surprise there. Defensive tackle, Garrett Garland, listed bracketed with Bryson Eason. Is Bryson Eason going to come on? Is he going to come on with it? Redshirt sophomore? Omari Thomas, again, I think that's the name everybody's throwing around out there. Can Big O have a season? Can Big O put it together? Can he be this year's Matthew Butler? No other real surprises. We've already gone through the secondary. Looking at the linebacker position, again, you've got Juwan Mitchell and Aaron Beasley kind of bracketed there. I think you're going to see all 4 of your 2 deep. Maybe even see some of the young kids out there. I think it's Aaron Beasley's job to lose, and if Juwan Mitchell buys in and Juwan Mitchell does things the right way, I think we're going to see Juwan Mitchell kind of win that job. But again, it's Aaron Beasley's job for now. Again, that's just my opinion. Drew Truesdale saying he wishes other teams had a show like this so he could hear the Nebraska fans' reaction. I think a lot of fan bases wish there was a show like this that's truly for the fans, by the fans, not a media darling talking down to people. I think that's what makes this channel unique. Austin Hannah Weather for $20. That ain't cheap. We're getting up there. That's a big-time super chat. Appreciate that, Austin. It says 2022 will be a breakout year for the Vols. We've talked a lot about expectations. Some people out there, I told you guys to be entered to win the free T-shirt. I told you guys to go enter your season predictions. There's a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there think this football team's going to go win 10 games. Austin saying it's going to be a breakout year. I hope so, man. I would love it as much as you guys. I just worry about the expectations getting built so high that when we don't meet them, this fan base implodes. We're in unity right now, and that's very rare. Very rare for the Tennessee fan base to be united like Josh Heupel has united this fan base. And not just Josh Heupel, but really Hendon Hooker. Once Hendon Hooker took over the job is when this fan base really, really was united. Prior to that, goodness gracious, you had people that were pro Joe Milton, pro Harrison Bailey. Harrison Bailey was going to be the next Peyton Manning. Very few people were hyping Hendon Hooker. Kind of been united since Hooker came in and won that job and took over and never looked back. I hope this is the year, Austin. I hope this is a breakout year. What would you consider a breakout year? 9 wins? Is that a breakout year? I mean, I'm sitting on 8-4. 8-4, I would be happy. I would be satisfied. 9-3, that might be considered a breakout year. You go get 10 wins, this fan base is going to be ready for national championships. We're going to be unbearable. Unbearable. But I'm sitting at 8. I just hope people don't get their expectations set on 10 wins and then they get disappointed and start to turn on Josh Heupel. Go down here and take a look at special teams. Chase McGrath back again. I think that's solid. Having him back, I think, is key. Paxton Brooks going to be doing the punting and kicking off. Kick returner, Jimmy Holiday. You guys think that's interesting? Jimmy Holiday at kick returner, punt returner, D. Williams and Trayvon Flowers. I'd say that'll be a thing, too, where you'll see some different guys get looks on Thursday night. D. Williams or Trayvon Flowers may be the first guy out there to field a punt, but I would say maybe as the game starts to go on, as the game starts to play out, maybe you get some of those young guys out there. Maybe a Dylan Sampson gets a shot to go out there and return punts. We'll see. But that's the depth chart, again, released yesterday. Take it for what it's worth. The big takeaway for me was where was Brandon Turnage. That was the biggest takeaway for me. We still got 251 people watching live. Thank you guys for hanging out for this Tuesday morning stream. Do me a favor, share it out. Let somebody know we're live. The Monday stream is one thing. Kind of done it 3 weeks in a row. I decided to just go nuts. Do another morning stream today. It's game week, man. It's game week. Why not do another morning stream? But a lot of people don't know we're live, so make sure you guys share it out. You guys saw the power in that yesterday. I saw a lot of you posting it on Twitter, and I appreciate that. You saw the power of that, able to grow so many subscribers, and that's because of you guys. You guys have the keys to the car. I'm just along for the ride. We'll see where we end up, but I appreciate the support. You can also go check out the merchandise. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support there is so greatly appreciated. Got the brand new mustard shirts, Talkin VAWLS Elite, for those members of the channel that pay $10 a month. You have elite status. You can pick that up. Also, the State Pride shirts. Beat Bama, beat Florida, beat Georgia. You guys have seen those. But you better get them ordered if you want to be repping those inside of Neyland Stadium when Tennessee beats Florida. Even though Troy Lee in the chat doesn't think they could beat Alabama. What if you got that shirt on inside of Neyland Stadium, sold out, undefeated, on the way to a national championship? Yeah, I'm just having some fun. Just close your eyes and imagine. What better shirt to have on that night inside of Neyland Stadium than that Beat Bama shirt? We've also got the shirt to let Kentucky know that we are their daddy, as well as some other designs. But again, bonfire.com/store YouTube.com/Talkin VAWLS. If you think about it later and you're like, what was that link again? I forgot that link. I can't remember what that link is. It's always in the description of the channel. The link to the merchandise, the links to the Talkin VAWLS affiliate program, all of that always in the description below, as well as social media handles. You want to figure out how you can tag me on Twitter and yell at me and tell me that I need to stop shilling for memberships. You can do that on Twitter. If you want to tell Dauber how to do his job, you can tweet at him. All those are in the description as well. Tennessee King for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Can't wait to get to the game Thursday. I'll be coming from Chattanooga. Well, safe travels, Tennessee King. Enjoy the game. Should be a fun little atmosphere. You know, it's Ball State. Not going to be sold out. Not going to be, Neyland Stadium probably won't be rocking. But you'll see the light show. You'll see the letters. They're going to do some fun stuff. Should be a fun night. Chris Godwin, thank you for that, buddy. Love the hat. Boogie, so hyped for Thursday night. Yeah, I picked this up at Alumni Hall a couple weeks ago. We took the family down to the Knoxville Zoo for the first time in a long time and decided to drop in Alumni Hall. I love these 47 brand hats. Probably one of my favorite hats. Cameron Cunningham for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Is the ETSU defensive line transfer Austin Lewis going to play at all this year? I did not see him on the depth chart. I don't think so. And let me tell you something. I think a lot of people got excited about Austin Lewis when he transferred in, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he'll do something. I just took it as he was transferring in as a walk-on, and it wasn't a big deal. But when you see Austin Lewis, this big giant of a man, tatted up, full beard, like grown man. So funny, I saw him tweet out. He tweeted out and said, "Recruits, please stop sending me your highlights. I play for the University of Tennessee. I'm not a coach." That's how much of a grown man Austin Lewis is. But I don't expect anything from him this year. Again, maybe he'll prove me wrong. But thank you for the super chat, Cameron. Roger, the T-shirt winner will be announced tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, myself and Dauber will be live. It's going to be Christmas Eve, counting down to kickoff. So come join us for that, and we will announce the winner of the shirt there. If we get up to 14.1K before the end of the stream, we'll give away 2 shirts. We're still 57 subscribers away. So if you're not subscribed and you're listening, get subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down below. Also, you other guys, share it out. Let's grow the chat. And let's give away 2 shirts tomorrow. Billy H. for $20. That is not cheap. That ain't cheap. $20 ain't cheap. That ain't cheap. That's very generous super chat, Billy. I appreciate that. Says, I'll be wearing my Beat Florida shirt in Neyland on the 24th. I love it. GBO. I love it, Billy. I appreciate that. I appreciate you picking one up. And even better, man, I want to see pictures. Post it out there on social media. Post it on Twitter. Tag us in it. I would love to see you guys repping Talkin VAWLS merch inside of Neyland Stadium and pictures popping up on social media. I think that would be awesome. Also, you guys may run into each other. If you see somebody wearing a Talkin VAWLS shirt, go up, say hello. Put a face with a username. Put a face in the username. Let's see here. We caught up. We're caught up. I think we're caught up on super chats. Yes, we are caught up. You guys being very generous again today. You guys make it worth my while. When I take time off work to do a morning show, it's always beneficial. Appreciate the way you guys support this channel and what I do. Very, very generous. Josh Heupel met with the media yesterday, breaking down Ball State. It's game week. Let's get that pulled up. We'll take a listen to what Josh Heupel had to say, provide commentary over top of it. What's up, Short Fuse? Good to see you in the chat, buddy. I know some of you guys may have already listened to this yesterday. That's okay. We'll still go through it. I'll continue. Anybody's got questions, you guys want to hijack the show, something you want to talk about, put it in the chat. You guys know what to do. You can derail the show. Let's take a listen to Josh Heupel yesterday meeting with the media.
Teleconference, which is on a schedule at 11:50 p.m. Later today, you will be receiving emails regarding your parking. For those who don't have their credentials, please come see me, and we'll get that to you.
Jeez, I didn't know this was game day preparation for the media too. Jeez, get everything taken care of. Feels different in here today than it ever has, and some might think it's game week, but we're all graced by a Hall of Famer. Jimmy, congratulations. Awesome. Congratulations on everything you've done in this area, covering UT for a long time, but the area as well. So congratulations for everything.
I'm assuming he's talking to Jimmy Himes, Hall of Famer. That's hilarious. I guess if you've been doing it a long time, you're a Hall of Famer. Josh Heupel kind of poking the bear there, having some fun. But then he gets serious. Congratulations to Jimmy Himes.
Everything that you've done. Awesome that it's game week, man. Let's go play ball. Excited to get into Neyland Stadium. Obviously, long training camp here with our players. We're at the point where it is time to go play and find out where we're at. We're in the middle of our preparation right now. Today was a Wednesday. Energy, focus, good. Things that we still got to clean up here before we get to kickoff, but excited to go compete with these guys on Thursday night. Really excited to see Vol Nation out, our student body. Huge amount of ticket requests by them. Excited to feel their energy inside of Neyland Stadium, Vol Walk. I know our guys are extremely excited about that too. You look back at the process all the way since January. I think it was 24th when we got here, and a ton of work that's gone into it. Excited to go play and compete with these guys and our fans that are in the stands as well. So Thursday night ball game, one benefit for us as a staff is we have the opportunity to go recruit on the back end of it. So a lot of our staff will be out on Fridays and have a chance to go watch some high school kids play football, in the state and across our region. So excited about that as well. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Another positive there from Josh Heupel talking about being able to get out on the road and recruit. I know some people hate that Thursday night game. They hate it, and I get it. It's traveling. Can you get off work? Some people would have to get off work Thursday and Friday in order to make it in. I get the frustration there. As a program, there's some positives. There's some benefits to it. Being able to get on the road and recruit, go take in some high school games on Friday night, and then also the nighttime atmosphere. Those lights, and I know some people are like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like the old man yells at cloud, right? It's like, I don't care about uniforms. We're orange. I don't care about light shows. It's about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They're so grouchy, and it's like that light show matters. The lights going down, the orange lights coming up, the letters, they matter. There's so many things from a nighttime atmosphere that matter in recruiting. One of the most watched clips is the power tee when they open the tee and Tennessee runs through and it's the night game. That's the one you see in all the highlight videos. That's the one you see in all the hype videos, the stuff that Tennessee puts out. That's the one they're showing because that atmosphere, that energy, the night show, let me tell you something, it matters. And I like that night game. You're going to be on a national stage. The only other game, is Pitt and West Virginia, and that's another part of the positives. Another part of the positives is now you're in alignment. You get the same amount of days as preparation for Pitt that Pitt's going to have for you. So that puts you kind of on the same schedule. So good move, I think, by the athletic department at Tennessee to play on Thursday night. Chase Newsom becomes a member of the channel. Thank you for that. Becomes a member of Talkin VAWLS Elite. If you know, you know. Thank you for that. Very generous. $10 a month. That is a $10 a month contribution to what we're doing. Chase trying to make me do more morning streams. Let's quit the job, do this full time. I appreciate that, Chase. Very generous. David Speaks for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Boogie, you are officially an influencer, buddy. I don't know, David. I heard you say that before. I'm just a dude. I think most of you guys that come hang out, watch this show know I'm not an influencer. I'm not anything special. I'm just a dude. But I appreciate the super chat and the compliment, David. I appreciate it. Jeremy Colston says, I need Boogie to do an entire show in that grumpy old man voice. I don't know if I could, man. My throat's already going out on me just from that little bit. But you know how it is. They get so irate over uniforms. And it's like, clearly the kids love them. Everybody else just needs to let it go. Appreciate that, Chase. Chase says, been watching your channel too long. Tired of being a freeloader. Now I am elite. I love it, Chase. I love it. But look, that's the beauty of it, man. Like, I know people get mad at me for shilling for money and trying to make money. It's a perk of doing this. But on the flip side, nobody has to give anything. Don't ever sacrifice from your family, your bills, the things that are important. If you can, I appreciate it. If you can't, hang out and watch the show. It's all good. It's all good. See, there you go. Aaron's pointing out the facts. You can't be an influencer when you do an entire 10 minutes with the mic muted. It was 7. It was 7, Aaron. But you're right. You're right. I'm just a dude. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel as he takes questions from the media heading into Ball State, just 2 days away.
Coach, first time we've talked to you since Brew had his situation resolved. Just what was the reaction to that? Was it relief? Was it just glad that it's over? And how does it impact any of your preparation, if at all, now it was so early?
Yeah, certainly a small sense of relief. More than anything, just excitement. When I got the news, man, it sent chills down my spine. It's so excited for him. A young man that's done it the right way since he's been here. Has gone through a long, windy journey to get to this point. And now he has an opportunity to move forward with his future and go compete with his teammates, his brothers, and having a chance to tell him and then hear him tell his dad was one of the great moments in my career. You could just tell the sense of excitement and some relief from them that they're able to just move on and go compete. So really special for him and his family.
I love that Josh Heupel was able to give Brew McCoy the news in person, face-to-face. And talk about, there's a difference between a football coach and a mentor, and Josh Heupel is a mentor, and I love it. I love the way, he talks about Brew McCoy and their relationship and how excited he was about getting chill bumps, being able to tell Brew McCoy that he was eligible. I think Josh Heupel, he's just authentic, man. We talked about it so much when he took over the job, so much, and he proves it time and time again, that he's authentic, that he's genuine, that he legitimately cares. So I love hearing that he was the one that was able to give Brew McCoy the news that he was going to be eligible. Let's hear some more.
Coach, you mentioned tightening up a few things. How do you know when you're ready? I guess you're never ready in week one, but do you have a punch list, or is it one of those deals where you get to a point where you go, you know what, we've done all we can do. Let's just go put it down and kick it and see what happens.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you're always, man, we got to go play. At the same time, you'd always want more time to continue the preparation. You got a checklist: offense, defense, special teams, special situations, circumstances that you try to put your kids in. We've run the gamut on that. We've gotten into our normal down situational preparation for this football game. There's still a lot of things here in the next 72 hours that we get a chance to clean up. But at the end of the day, like, you get to this point through the course of training camp, it's time to go play ball.
A couple of things. As far as McCoy, do you like the progress you've seen from him from practice one to now?
Yeah. The beginning portion of practice, we were kind of methodical in ramping him up as he, came off of not being quite 100% at the beginning of summer. And so we've built him up. He's got a good understanding of what we're doing. He's operated fairly efficiently in what we're doing offensively. For all of our guys that are out there playing on the offensive side of the ball with our tempo the first time, you think back to a year ago, it'll be their first time experiencing it. And so there will be some things that we're going to have to grow through and clean up. But he's got a really good understanding of what we're doing. He's continued to get stronger physically, been fundamentally and technically more sound in what we're asking him to do. So there's a lot of positive things as we've gone through this training camp with him.
And where would you say your offensive line is now compared to where it was at the start of last?
I'm excited about Brew McCoy, and there was so much potential and there were so many question marks, but hearing how he has come along, hearing how he's progressed, and I love that this coaching staff, this administration, had the confidence that he was going to be eligible and that he was getting those first team reps and he was able to kind of get up to speed. And I don't think I've ever said this in my entire life, but kudos to the NCAA for getting things done. They were talking about it on the VolQuest podcast this morning and basically said the NCAA got it done within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, Tennessee realized, okay, USC's not going to play ball. They're not going to sign the MPO, so we're going to have to go to the NCAA. They went to the NCAA, and within 2 weeks, done deal, Brew McCoy's eligible, going to be out there with his teammates for the opener on Thursday night. That's huge. When does the NCAA do that? In the conversation they had on the podcast this morning, which was also very interesting, is you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Tennessee played ball with the NCAA. The way they handled the Pruitt investigation and everything that went down and the way they were open and honest and just let all the information out. They were transparent with the NCAA. And now that kind of goes a long way. And they were talking about on the podcast whether or not, it was a simple matter of picking up the phone, sending a text message and saying, hey, we cooperated with the NCAA investigation. Why don't you do us a favor now and get Bru McCoy eligible? And also hearing about the type of person Bru McCoy has been since being on campus, the type of teammate he's been. This could end up being the picture-perfect situation of why people deserve second chances. The kid allegedly made some mistakes. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not true. All I know is the charges were dropped, and there was no reason, if the charges were dropped, no legal issue there, why could he not play football for USC? He's got a second opportunity at Tennessee. His relationship with Velus Jones, a lot of those USC kids last couple of years that have ended up in Tennessee, and the culture that Josh Heupel's built. Maybe Josh Heupel having a coach that is genuine, that's authentic, that cares about his players, a guy that gets chill bumps because he has the opportunity to come and tell you that you're eligible and you're going to be able to go out and play football with your teammates on Thursday night when you've put in all the work. You've done what you're supposed to do since you've been on campus. Now you got an opportunity to go play. But I'm excited about not just that, but what's taking place on the field, what this coaching staff has had to say about Bru McCoy. Sounds like he's torching some defensive backs on the practice field. I want to see him do it when the lights come on and it counts. Be watching him on Thursday night. Ryan Charland for 10. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Very generous. Thank you for the tip. Heupel is so much better at talking to the media than any other coach than the last several coaches we've had. Truly cares about his players and knows what he's talking about. Ryan, you know what I like about his media? He's so confident. He's so confident in himself. We talked about Butch Jones all the time, how he just he had no confidence. He wasn't comfortable in his own skin. Josh Heupel does not care what people say about him. He is true. He's authentic. Sure, he gives you some coach speak sometimes. He's probably not always going to give you the big clickbait headline to put out there. He's not going to, yes, Aaron Stewart in the chat there, no cheesy lines. He's just a real dude, man. He's authentic, transparent. I'm with you. I'm with you, Ron. I'm with you. His press conferences are a breath of fresh air. And sometimes it's almost like a manager. Sometimes when you've had a manager that acts a certain way, when a new manager comes in, you need them to be the complete opposite, and that's what Josh Heupel is. He is the complete opposite of Jeremy Pruitt, a breath of fresh air. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel. Jimmy Himes asking about his offensive line.
Last year.
Yeah, in some ways, just like our program, much further ahead. They understand how we play, the ability to communicate. You guys saw that growth with them a year ago. We're healthy at this point in the season, which is exciting. We need to stay that way. But a lot of guys have played a lot of football up there for us.
Coach, how are you dividing during the season, during game weeks? How are you dividing those quarterback reps, being that Hendon is a guy, in terms of getting Joe some work with first team? How will you split that up?
Yeah, in what we do, Hendon's going to get, almost a majority or all of the one work. Joe at times will get a majority of the two reps. We have a plan for all of our twos, offensive line, skill guys, tight ends, to get a good amount of reps. And that's when we're going against practice squads. It's also when we're going against some good on good looks.
And tell us what you see in Ball State.
Yeah, I think week one, just in general, you're never sure exactly what you're going to get. Some of that can be personnel based. They have guys that graduate, new guys that come in. Where are they going to place them? Schematically, things tend to change in week one. Everybody went through a self-scout process from the previous year. They made changes to what they're doing. I think it's really big in week one that your players have an understanding of what you anticipate to see, but they have the tools in their tool bag to adjust to what they are actually seeing. Staff and everybody being able to adjust and subtly tweak and change things as the game unfolds.
At wide receiver last season, it took about a month to kind of have those roles solidified. Yeah. What particularly are you looking for specifically that guys can do to say that they belong in starting lineup, getting reps?
Yeah, a big part of that last year was being in year one, new in what we were doing offensively. Velus being nicked up during the course of training camp, kind of changed the way the season started for us. some guys coming on strong. So, that's the inevitable, beginning of a season. Some of those things will happen as this season unfolds too, but in particular in year one, we'd like to play more guys at the wide receiver position, guys that are ready to compete and perform the way that we need them to, be in the right spaces at the right time and have a trust with the quarterback. And I do feel like we'll play more guys than we did a year ago at this juncture of the season.
You guys buy into that? You guys buy into that they're going to play more guys at the wide receiver position this year? Because they said the exact same thing last year. Alex Golish said almost the same number, 7 or 8 guys they feel comfortable rotating around. Again, I keep saying this, but it's the truth. We've been hyping up Jalen Hyatt, Jimmy Callaway, Jimmy Holiday for 3 years now. Jalen Hyatt seems to be doing things the right way. But for me, right now, on the outside looking in, who do I think is going to contribute? I think there's a reason. I think there is a reason why this coaching staff made a priority out of the wide receiver. Made a priority out of the wide receiver position in the transfer portal. Chasing down Isaiah Nair, ends up at Texas. Then they land on Brew McCoy. But the wide receiver position was definitely a priority. And I think there's a reason for that. And I think that's because they don't have the trust in some of these other guys. Maybe Walker Merrill, a guy that's, a lot of people saying he had a good camp. Maybe we'll see some Walker Merrill. Maybe he can kind of earn his way into the rotation. I know some of you in the chat there saying Squirrel White. I don't know that Squirrel White's going to necessarily end up in the rotation. He's listed on the depth chart. But when Tennessee goes to play Pitt on the road, is Squirrel White going to be out there? He may be out there for a play or two, and that's fine. But I'm talking about the actual rotation of guys that you want out there. I think Squirrel White's a guy that you can utilize, get him out there because of his speed, maybe have a couple of plays dialed up for him. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think this coaching staff truly, honestly wants to have 7 or 8 guys they can rotate, but they also want about 10 guys that they can rotate on the defensive line. But we've seen if that trust factor's not there, this coaching staff is not going to play those guys. They're not. You got to earn their trust. You got to earn it on the field. I just don't see it when I look at the wide receiver room. I see hype. I see guys that we as fans get excited about. But I don't see anybody that's proven it on the field. And that's why I kept talking about wide receiver in the offseason. Because really the only guy you had coming back that had shown he could do it on the field was Cedric Tillman. And he didn't just do it against the scrubs. He did it against the big teams. He did it against the Georgias and the Alabamas. And I'm excited to see what another year of Cedric Tillman looks like, a full year in this system. That's exciting in itself. A full year. I think this offense is going to go faster. I think they're going to understand what they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to be, and how they're supposed to be. I just don't know that you're going to have 7 to 8 guys in that wide receiver. I hope so. I hope they do. I hope they do. Derek Rogers, you're right. Hyatt's got to step up. He's getting the praise. He's getting a lot of praise. We'll see.
As you still try to figure out who you're going to start at left tackle or who's going to be the guy there, do you go into the Thursday night with a plan on like 2 series or quarter by quarter, or just kind of let the game flow as it may? And then anybody out for Thursday, or are you pretty much full go?
Yeah, I think at this point we're pretty healthy heading into week 1. You guys know there's still a long time before we actually kick off, and tend to not, unless it's a major injury where guys won't be available, tend to not make a decision on Wednesday afternoon and wait just a little bit longer. The left tackle position, both of those guys are going to play. Somebody will run out with the ones. I haven't watched Wednesday's practice yet. Coach Ellerby hasn't. As we go back and evaluate it, we'll have a plan for those guys to rotate during the course of the ball game and what percentage each of them play and who runs out there the first one. I don't have an answer to yet.
Coach, I know just the nature of your job, there's always a lot of unknowns and you're never probably, fully satisfied, but just can you compare your comfort level this year with where you were last year with just, feeling like you know what you have with your team?
Yeah, you can see it in the way, as we transition from how we practice during training camp to the season, just the comfort with our players and what we're doing. That's true for our coaches too. We're in sync, the ability to communicate. Our players have a clear vision of what's going to happen here and up until kickoff, the standards that we have. Year 2 should be a lot different than year 1. It has been. I don't think you're ever where you want to be as a coach because you're always trying to find ways to be better. At the same time, have a pretty good idea of the guys that are running out of that tunnel, who they are, what they're about, how they're going to play and compete, how they're going to handle positive plays, negative plays. And now it's about us continuing our preparation and be ready to go kick off.
Hey, Josh, right here. A season ago, you said it took a while for some of your team to learn how to prepare for a football game, kind of those 72 hours leading up to kickoff. I know it's Wednesday game week technically, but have you seen any growth in that regard for this group right now, or over the course of training camp?
Yeah, a year ago, early in the season, the last 48 hours in particular, in the early parts of the week, I didn't think we kept what should be important all the time, and got sidetracked by things that have nothing to do with us as individuals and collectively as a football team going out and playing our best. I do believe we're a more mature football team. That's, I'm saying that because of how they've handled everything since we've gotten back in January. The issues from day to day, are so different than they were a year ago because our players are different and, true to the characteristics of accountability, trust, and respect, and competing extremely hard. I do anticipate us handling the last 48 hours the right way, as we head into Thursday night. Inevitably, you always have new players inside of your program. Year two for me, I've been able to be clearer in my message to them about my expectations on the front end of it. They have older guys that they can see and are role models for them as well. And I believe that we'll handle it in a lot better way.
I would love to know the specifics about that because we heard a lot about it last year. He kept saying the 48 hours leading up to kick, the 48 hours leading up to kick. We didn't do things the right way. What is that about? And I know he doesn't have to put that business out there, but it's interesting. And he talks about being a more mature football team, and I think that starts with having a leader. I think everybody in this chat, everybody in that locker room, everybody in this fan base knows that Hendon Hooker is the leader of this football team. He's shown it. I've talked about the clips at the scrimmage where he's breaking it down and talking about the defense, going out there and making plays, be aggressive, play fast. Offense, we do what we do. And it's his football team. And, seeing the way he's talked about guys like Jalen Hyatt coming along and doing things the right way. Maybe having a leader like Hendon Hooker does help with that. But I just always thought it was curious, what is that last 48 hours? What exactly did they not do correctly? But let's hear a little bit more. We got 250 people watching live. Guys, help me out. Smash the thumbs up if you have not yet. Also, hit that share button. Share out the link. We get enough subs this stream. We'll give away 2 free shirts tomorrow instead of 1, but appreciate the support regardless. Thanks for being here. Let's hear some more comments from Josh Heupel. Heading into kickoff, just 2 days away.
Hey, Coach, back here. With week 1 coming up, I'm sure it's a gamut of emotions for a head coach, getting ready for that first game. I wanted to ask you, what do you think your emotions will be like when you go down to the ball walk for the first time and go through the power tee this season?
Yeah, a year ago I had no idea. I talked about, the experience of it, and to be honest, I had heard so much about it. I thought it would be really hard for it to live up to that ball walk in particular. It superseded my expectations. I'm excited to get off the bus with these guys and go down ball walk, enter gate 21, and then get ready to go compete. It'll be a great atmosphere, electric. Since our students have come back, you can feel the energy and the buzz around here in particular too. And our guys, like you think all the way back to January, man, that's a long process. And I'm excited to run out with these guys and go play.
You can talk about the ball walk. You can talk about running through the tee. I cannot – seeing it that first time, it's different. Walking into Neyland Stadium that first time, it's different. Coming through the tunnel, opening up, seeing the field, the power tee. It's just different, man. There's a reason we all love Tennessee football. Being on the river, the Vol Navy, there's so many traditions. And I love that, Josh Heupel, when he first came here, he talked about the brand of Tennessee football. And I think he understood the importance. And a lot of people think, I've seen a lot of you guys in the chat, in the comments, talk about that Ole Miss game and say that we won Josh Heupel over at the end of that Ole Miss game. And yeah, throwing trash on the field is not the way to go, but I think when he talks about it, that's why I play that clip all the time. And he has to defend himself at the beginning and say that's not what we want. But the passion that he saw that night against Ole Miss is better than anything he's ever seen as a coach and as a competitor. I think we won Josh Heupel over at that Ole Miss game. But I love the way he talks about the ball walk and running through the tee and everything about Tennessee football. He gets it. He gets it, man. He understands. Let's hear a little bit more from Josh Heupel.
The different position battles throughout the roster, you as a staff, will you all evaluate the game as equal to what they did over the course of 3, 4, 5 weeks of fall camp, or is it simply weighted more because it's the game?
Sorry. Are you saying like when we get into week 2?
Yes, just examining those position battles moving forward. Will the game equal what they did throughout fall camp, or more because it is a game?
Well, certainly the game's going to matter, right? It's the realest thing and the most important thing that we do is perform in those moments. I think as you go through a season, you got to understand that players are going to grow and change and evolve, and they're going to get better. In particular, the young players inside of your program, you got to have a really good feel for who he is, how does he prepare, and his ability to handle the moments in the biggest moments. And we're going to need a lot of guys. A year ago, we were the thinnest football team in America. We need to be deeper than we were a year ago. To do that, some of your young guys, you got to let them grow and evolve throughout the course of the season. There's a plan at each position, to play certain guys. The game's going to unfold differently too. And so just because you have a certain plan going in as a coach doesn't mean that it's clear and cut, and that's how it always unfolds. So being able to evolve and understand the ebbs and flows of the football game and put guys in the right moment is critical for me, but it's critical for our coordinators and our position coaches as well.
Josh, as far as the secondary, how would you assess where you are at cornerback and at the star position?
Yeah, I like the maturity and the competition that we've had at the star position. T-Mac and Wesley feel really confident in both of those guys. T-Mac's been as consistent as anybody we've had since we hit the grass day one of training camp. What he did a year ago on special teams in particular, I think has really allowed him to grow and gain a bunch of confidence. And then his work ethic since the offseason started. The quarterback position, believe we'll see multiple guys that will play there. I like a lot of what they've done up until this point. Obviously, want to see them go out and perform at a really high level on Thursday.
Any update on William Mohan?
I don't have an update. We put out as soon as we received information that he was suspended indefinitely from the program, and we'll let that process unfold here.
I think the key there, talking about his secondary, you're going to see a lot of guys. And, again, it goes back to what we opened the show with, the depth chart. Take it for what it's worth. You're going to see a lot of guys play on Saturday or Thursday night, and it's going to give you a look. It's going to give you some film to go back and break down and continue that process. That's why I love the question from Ben McKee when he talked about what's more valuable, seeing the tape on Thursday night when you're talking about Gerald Mincey versus Jeremiah Crawford. Is that more important than fall camp? And I think it's something that you really want to kind of get this roster and your depth chart dialed in going into that Pitt game. That's when the season starts. Going on the road against Pitt is going to be a big-time game. It's going to set the stage for this football team in 2022. If we're going to have a shot to go 8-4, that Pitt game is huge. It's important to carry that momentum into the Florida game in week 4. Have an opportunity to go 4-0 in September. That Pitt game is absolutely huge. Tennessee needs to go take care of business. You want your roster dialed in and the best guys on the field for that game. And something else I love about Josh Heupel, talking about him, his press conferences, who he is as a person compared to previous coaches. I love that he never made excuses, and he never threw his kids under the bus. And, just right there a second ago, he said how thin they were last year. He didn't say that when he took over the job. He talked about, listening, sitting down with the kids and listening to what they need from their coach. He didn't come and say, oh, we're thin, everybody transferred out, we're in trouble. No, he took the guys he had, and he went out there and he competed. And that's what I love about Josh Heupel. I love that he didn't make excuses, like Jeremy Pruitt when he came in. And Jeremy Pruitt said this football team doesn't have enough talent. He didn't say I'm going to coach these guys up. He said they don't have enough talent, so I'm going to go recruit better talent. And you don't think Josh Heupel's trying to do that? Of course he is. That's what every coach in America is trying to do, especially when you're in the midst of a rebuild like Tennessee is right now. You're trying to go out-recruit. You're trying to get better talent on your football team. But he doesn't sell out the kids that he currently has. I love Coach Heupel. I really, truly hope he works out here because I think he is a good person in addition to a good football coach. He's a teacher. He's a coach. He's a mentor. And I love it. 252 people watching live here on this Tuesday morning. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live, myself, Dauber. We may have some guests. We'll see. And then we'll be live Thursday, an hour before kickoff. We're going to do a tailgate show. And look, this is what I'm going to do. Those tailgate shows, I'm going to delete them immediately after we go off air. So make sure you're here for that live hangout. We'll count you down to kickoff, and then we'll be live immediately following the game. Within a couple of minutes, we'll go live after the Ball State game, break it down, talk about it. And then I'll be live Sunday night playing NCAA football. And then next Tuesday, we're kicking off the first fan call-in show of the year. Tuesday night, late night Talkin VAWLS, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You guys are going to have a chance to come on, run the show. Should be a good time. 4 live streams a week from now moving forward. And then we'll do some morning streams occasionally. I'm not counting that in there, but I'll try to continue the Monday morning streams and all that good stuff. But like I said, make sure you smash the thumbs up, share out the link. Let's blow this thing up. I've got a goal. I want to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We got a long way to go, but you guys can help make it happen. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel as we wrap up this press conference. Just 2 days away from kicking things off against Ball State.
Josh, in your time as a coach and maybe even going back to your time as a player, when you look at a situation like the secondary last year in that final game of the year against Purdue, the way that goes, obviously not how they wanted to play, is that something that you hope kind of motivates them, or is that something that you want them to kind of forget about and just move on from?
I think it should spur and motivate you to get kicked off in the offseason the right way, right? And it certainly did. The guys that we have, inside the building, they've prepared in a really good way since we started our offseason. Each quarter of our offseason, from strength and conditioning and spring ball to what we've done in the summer. Now it's being able to handle everything that comes with game day: formation recognition, coverage adjustments, the ability to communicate, have your eyes in the right place, trigger when you're supposed to and go make plays, handle the 50-50 ball, be patient and calm and glove it. And so all those situations got to unfold. And I believe in the guys that we have back there. I believe they'll play really well for us.
Jimmy Himes bringing the negative energy. Hey, Coach, I know everybody's excited about kicking things off, but what do you think about that bowl game last year? What a stupid question. Hall of Famer, though. Hall of Famer. The Orange Swarm for 10. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Very generous. Go Vols. Just moved to Knoxville. Good stuff, Orange Swarm. Thank you for that super chat. Go Vols, and you're going to be at the game. You're going to go check out the game Thursday night in Knoxville. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel.
Josh, all your assistant coaches who have stood at the podium have talked about the need to play more guys. Where's the line in forcing depth and growing depth? And then secondly, on Tamarian McDonald, how big of an example is that for you to use with your younger players on your roster about the growth and development through special teams to get to the field?
Yeah, the fundamentals that you have to play special teams show up in everything that you're doing on offense and defense. The ability to move your feet, have your eyes in the right place, play with fundamentals and technique, hat, hands, and feet. Be able to block people, be able to destruct a block. All of those things correlate over. We talk about that and show that in our special teams meeting all of the time. Coach Eckler does a great job with that, and our players have bought into that. Almost all the great ones that I've been around, I say almost because there's been a few guys that are outside of that, but they end up starting in special teams and they gain confidence, and that was certainly the case for T-Mac. The need for us to be deeper is true. We have to be able to play more people than we did a year ago. However, you can't force that, like you're saying. You guys got to show that you can trust them on the football field. That's playing their assignment and then being able to make plays. And that's what training camp's been all about. Who are the guys that we've identified that can do that at this point in the season? And, we've gone through that process. We'll play a bunch of guys on Thursday night. we're going to come back, we're going to evaluate the film and see who handled it the right way and who can continue to grow, and that'll push us towards the following week.
Coach, I guess a lot has changed for Cedric Tillman over the past year. Just seeing him in the building, seeing him in practice, what's different about him, and are there some ways maybe he hasn't changed at all?
Last year at this point, nobody knew who he was, and certainly didn't know what he was about on the football field. And for him, he's been so consistent. You guys see the confidence in who he is, what he's about. He's got a great understanding of how to prepare. His on-field performance, he's continued to get better. Expect him to have a big night and have a big year.
I love what he says right there about Tillman, that nobody knew who he was last year. Nobody knew what he was going to do. I love that. And can somebody else on this football team step up and do that? Can Jalen Hyatt be that guy this year? And, yeah, I know he's been there. He's a junior. He's been there, done that. But I think there's a difference when you buy in. And I've talked about it before, but I like that Jalen Hyatt goes to Velus Jones and says, hey, I'm not doing things the right way. What do I need to do to get to your level? I love that. That shows maturity in Jalen Hyatt. And then the praise that he's been given from this coaching staff, putting the weight on. Can Jalen Hyatt be that guy that kind of breaks out this year like Cedric Tillman did? I would love to see it. I think it'd be huge for this offense. Can Brew McCoy be a Cedric Tillman this year? Theo Jackson was that type of guy. Matthew Butler was that type of guy. When you buy in, when you put in the work, when you do things the right way, all these guys have athleticism. You don't play in the SEC without some type of God-given natural ability and athleticism. So I think, they've got the athleticism. Can they put it together? Can they buy in? Can somebody like Jalen Hyatt take that step like Cedric Tillman did? I love that he said that. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew who he was.
Guys, have a great afternoon.
That's it for Josh Heupel's press conference. Ball State week, 2 days away from kickoff. 2 days away. Appreciate you guys hanging out. David, I see that comment. Caught that out of the corner of my mind. Couldn't help but laugh. 258 people watching. Make sure you do smash that thumbs up. I'm going to show something off. This is actually really cool. I've talked about us being Aspire Sports Group affiliate. If you want to get in the NIL game and contribute, there's a link in the description below that you can join the NIL game and you can donate X amount of money and you get perks and benefits. I've showed you guys the different tiers. You get, access to student athletes, whether that be tailgates, they do watch parties, they do different things, but they also do autographs. And Brad, I don't know if Brad's still in the chat, but Brad did join Aspire Sports Group through our affiliate program. And he got his first autograph mailed out. And I don't know if you guys saw these floating around Twitter. I'm sure some of you thought, hey, they're not going to send me some big-time autograph. It's just going to be some joke. It's not worth it. Well, if you join the affiliate program, they might send you one of these. You can see where Brad tweeted it out yesterday. They sent it to him in the mail. Let's go down and take a look. Brad got an autographed Hendon Hooker picture, and that's what they were sending out to a lot of the people that joined Aspire Sports Group. You're contributing to recruiting at Tennessee. Let's not be dumb. You're not supposed to use it in recruiting, but everybody knows we are. Brad's still in the chat there. Brad tweeted that out yesterday. Hendon Hooker autograph. Dakota's putting the link there in the chat, how you can join the NIL game. And again, there's different tiers. You can give as little as $5 a month, or you can give several $100s a month. Whatever you can afford to contribute, they kick a little money back our way. I've talked about it before. 90% of the money goes to the athletes. The other 10% goes to the affiliates. It goes to covering their cost. It goes to their payroll, that type of stuff. But 90% of the money given goes to the athletes. But if you ask yourself, you said, well, if I do this, are they going to send me a member of the golf team? Is that the autograph I'm going to get? Well, they sent out a Hendon Hooker autograph. So just to show you guys, I wanted you guys to see that. Thanks to Brad for sharing that with everybody. Go support NIL. The link, again, is in the description below this video. Dakota's got it in the chat. We can make a difference in recruiting. There is strength in numbers. I kind of use it talking about NIL. I use it talking about memberships of this channel. 14,000 subscribers, 99 cents a month. You can join this channel, access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. But more importantly, you're supporting what we are trying to do. If you like these morning shows, this is 2 back-to-back. I'm running out of vacation time, to be honest with you. So I don't know how many more weeks we're going to be able to run with the Monday morning show. We're going to do it as long as possible. But thank you guys for all the support. Very generous today with the Super Chats. Continue to share this thing out. Continue to blow up the Talkin VAWLS network. I truly believe that this is where the heart of the Tennessee fan base is right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, because you guys have a voice. We value your opinion, for the fans, by the fans. But that's going to do it for this one. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The